We're going to be going over everything wrong with the RF 50mm 1.8 STM Canon RF glass lens that we have here. The lens, although being very capable, it is also very cheap. And for a cheap price point, you just can't get everything. So what are you sacrificing for the small capacity and the price point that this lens comes in at? Well, the very first thing that you'll notice, just like the EF glass, is that there is vignetting around it. I wish this is one of the things that they would have changed and actually fixed, but they didn't. Most people add vignetting anyways, and it's easy to pull out in post, but nonetheless it is still there. And that leads us to our next thing. This lens is very, very soft at 1.8, which is kind of the purpose of having a 1.8 lens, so you can have that blown out background. The overall sharpness is very, very soft, and it only focuses in a small area in the very center. I'm going to show you a comparison of the RF 1.2 and this lens right here. It is a photo of carpet, so you can kind of see exactly where, and then it's also been modified in Photoshop for sharpness so that you can see exactly the center of it. This is the 1.8, and it's kind of soft there all the way to the edges. It's extremely soft. However, the 1.2 has a very, very thin bokeh, or has a very, very thin layer of sharpness, but it is incredibly sharp from edge to edge on that lens. The build quality is an upgrade from the EF version, however it does not have any of the weather sealing that comes with many of the other RF lenses. It does, however, have a coupling that is made of metal, so that's a plus. It does come with an STM motor in it to get focus, and it does kind of struggle in some situations. I have a video over here where I was trying to take photos of our dog, and it just wasn't keeping up while the dog was moving like the other lenses did. It was kind of a tricky situation, and for the most part, it does do the job, but it makes it a much more casual lens. While I was able to get some wonderful photos, and the addition of having a very close range that this lens can shoot at really does help to create some nice bokeh, it does, however, struggle in some situations. And I did get photos that I enjoyed out of it, but it was more of a struggle to get those and kind of like cherry pick the best ones. The photos and the bokeh do have problems, as it does have a harsh transition that kind of looks a little muddy as it goes from the bokeh area to the sharp area and back into the bokeh area. As well, the overall creaminess of the bokeh isn't quite what you'd get out of a more expensive lens, which is, once again, it's a $200 lens, so you can't expect everything. It is very good for just getting up and going and having a small package. Look how small that is. It's perfect for just carrying around in a bag, whereas having a much larger lens is not as favorable to doing something like that. My biggest complaint with some of these photos that I took was that they just looked very iPhone-y, even though they did have the background blur, where everything kind of has the harsh edge to it and just kind of flat feel, even if there was bokeh involved that was very nice. So in this video, I've been very harsh to the 50mm RF lens, despite it having very much so upgraded from the EF lens. You can check out a full comparison right here. You can go click on that. My name is Daniel. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so that you never miss out on anything mirrorless Canon cameras. Thank you for watching.